What's going on, guys? So we have a faction-specific Fire Knight tournament going on, and those factions are specifically ones with no nuts. So your champion that you use to clear Fire Knight all the time, the OP champion, the champion I use Fora to clear Fire Knight actually, is not allowed today. But instead, we are locked to Bannerlords, High Elves, Sacred Order, and Barbarians. I want to break down 3 different teams, one for stage 25, one for stage 6 hard, and one for stage 10 hard. They should all be pretty consistent, but of course, tester runs out. I haven't done 100 runs of each of these, but I'll probably be using the 6 hard or 10 hard team, depending on if I want to change gear up much. But we do have free gear removal event, which if you need to push your best gear on these champions for now, it's not a big deal. So this event, I do believe, is worth it. We have a Dungeon Diver event with extra RNG on top, the Diamond Chest, which is going to give us all an epic skill tome for 5,000 points. Very exciting stuff, Plarium. And this is probably going to give us a 5-star epic Chaos Sword. But either way, you got a chance at an Eternal Soulstone, right? Let's be honest, we're not going to get that. So we have a Dungeon Diver event going on. Pairs excellent with this. Champion training kind of irrelevant. You kind of got to do this, though, if you want to do the Community Week stuff anyways. So as far as this tournament-specific rewards, we do have 5 of the Eternal Soul Essence, which is good if you're working towards your next 5-star, even 6-star soul in the shop. So good stuff there. We have 70 coins. Basically, you kind of got to do this, honestly. The rewards aren't incredible. $27.50 for this. Honestly, if you're going for the path of, or the Titan event, you do have to go for this points, and it's not really that difficult of an event to begin with, to be honest. But we also get 3x Savage drops. So now is the best time to do it. If your clan is kind of holding back points during CVC, maybe you're wanting to place lower in the leaderboards for an easier matchup next time, then you may not want to drop a ton of energy today and instead save it for tomorrow. So we do have time left in the Dungeon Diver event as well as the tournament, so you could wait till tomorrow to do this, and Savage drops will still be available tomorrow. Just something to consider. So let's start off with the Stage 25 team. When building these teams, that's not the Stage 25 team, by the way, guys. That is the Stage 6 hard. Let me go ahead and put this in the title, 6 hard. But these builds need to be swapped a little bit. So the Stage 25 normal team, we're going to take Farrakhan's boots, remove the boots, so we can have a more relatable speed. Now the champions are empowered. There are some souls on them as well, but that's not required. The Stag Knight is a little bit fast, but once again, not required. Deacon is slow at 206 speed. Stag Knight is 298 speed. Really, he's here for this decreased speed on the boss. I really don't care about anything else. We have decreased defense from Farrakhan, so I could even turn this off. Any decreased speed champion, you're good. Matter of fact, your Carl is bringing a decreased speed, so I don't really even need the Stag Knight. I could bring in a different turn meter booster, a different wave clear champion, a champion who does more turn meter decreases on the Fire Knight, something like that. Pay attention to the stats on the side, because when I show you guys the gear breakdown later, it's not going to include the Fire Knight bonuses. So things specifically to look out for is going to be the speeds and the accuracy. Those are the most important because these are things that are going to matter. For normal, stage 25, you're going to need 250 accuracy. For hard mode, I believe it's closer to 330. Stag Knight's here. As far as the presets, don't really have much. No presets on these champions. Your Carl, no presets. We can have him open with this ability just so he's not sinking this into the Fire Knight shield. Royal Guard, round 1, round 2, round 3. This ability is going to help speed up the run. Worst case scenario, you don't have Royal Guard, you don't have this A2 ability, you just continue decreasing his turn meter and you're good to go. An ally attack champion could be anybody. It could be Farrakhan. All you have to do is come in here, go to the factions that you're looking for stuff in, these 4, and then come down to other effects, positive effects, ally attack, see who you got. Now, of course, champions like Fina has an ally attack, but not really. So realistically, the champions you're looking at are going to be Farrakhan, Cardiel, and Lanathril. I think that's all, but those are the ones you're definitely worth considering. Now, champions like Valkyrie and Martyr can also work here, but you're not really going to be getting the fastest run if you go with these. Valk and Martyr both fit the requirements, but like I said, you're not really going to get a fast run from these champions. Royal Guard, you could double it up if you wanted. Another Royal Guard instead of the Stag Knight would be fine as well. If you go for debuffs, decreased speed, remember, just throw on the faction-specific stuff and jump in there and see what you got. We have Sylva Drakes. Sylva Drakes can be very good as well. She brings a res, a little bit more consistent runs. Get her about 200, 220, maybe even 250 speed. Get that decreased speed landing, and you will be doing it well. She brings that heal, the stun for the waves. Very solid champion overall. Now, of course, Holstring is an amazing champion. I don't want to get too much into theory crafting, all kinds of other stuff. He's amazing. I didn't want to include him in this because mine is +2 with 6-star blessing. And he's going to be even better at that, of course. So he's going to do the job amazing. Stage 25, the key here is not to freeze the boss. You don't need to do the freezes. Yakarl does bring freezes, and we will be using him on the 10 hard team. But with Yakarl, he's also bringing a turn meter steal, I believe it is, on that A2 ability. So even on normal mode Fire Knight, he's doing great. But remember, normal mode, turn meter decrease stuff all works fine. As soon as you make that jump into hard mode, turn meter decrease stuff no longer works at all. You got to have freeze instead. And also, if you're going to be doing the freeze, while it's not actually placing the debuff, it is in the game acting like it's placing the debuff. So if you have 10 debuffs on the boss's bar, so like maybe in your different Fire Knight team, you're running Mithrala or something. Well, if you have the debuff bar filled up, you can't place freeze, even though you're not actually placing it. You're still not going to decrease the turn meter. So pay attention to that. Champions like Farrakhan can start to run away with the buffs. So you got to be careful with the debuffs. So you got to be careful with how many debuffs you actually get going here. Unfortunately, Deacon goes down. We still may be okay, to be honest. He is kind of low on the gear. Like I said, I tried to pull these champions down as far as their overall gear score and their effectiveness. Farrakhan being 253. He could be faster, of course, but let's see how this goes. I mean, Deacon's bringing good stuff. He's bringing the turn meter boost, the decreased defense, but we do have it from these other champs as well. And of course, Deacon, on your account, may be built better. You actually have him 220, 250, 300 speed, good accuracy, steal the boss's turn meter, boost your turn meter, and you're looking great. But here we go. We have fewer shield stacks than hard mode, of course. Makes this far easier to deal with in hard mode. Royal Guard coming in with that A3 skill as the opener. Drop some turn meter. Very good stuff. We have no decreased defense, so not a huge hit there. We do have Stag Knight who can place the decreased defense. I believe Farrakhan does too, doesn't he, from that A1 skill? But remember, we turned Stag Knight's A2 off, so we're just using the A1. Yakarl does not do any decreases from his A1 ability. So the only turn meter decreases we have at this point is going to be that steal right there, which is very powerful. Build your Yakarl with decent speed, and he's really going to control this plenty. Royal Guard does have some turn meter decrease as well, but you can see these poisons starting to stack up slowly but surely. We only have 3, 6, 7, it looks like right now. But if we were to push it to 10 on hard mode, that wouldn't work out great. But there we go. 2 minutes and 27 seconds. You can adjust these champions as you need. Deacon died, and we're still fine. Now, as far as the sets on these champions, real quick, click through. Yakarl was just freshly leveled up. I didn't have him leveled up before this. He has no masteries. Farrakhan has a piece missing. For his masteries, we have War Master. Stag Knight has Eagle Eye for his mastery. Doesn't need that. We have Instinct Gear, so he's doing some damage. We have Royal Guard in a mismatched set, not really doing anything super special, with some flawless execution. And then for the last champion being Deacon, we have also very mismatched sets. So nothing crazy here. That's what we have. Now, let's jump over into hard mode. So hard mode, we're going to have to bring some freezes if we want to control turn meter, or we just say forget that and let's go all in damage. So this team right here is going to be that all in damage team. We're going to take Farrakhan, put his boots back on him, and let him go, basically. Let's go to Merciless. We got these non-speed here. So now Farrakhan is rocking much better speed. So what we have going on in this team, stage 6 hard. This could be a 10 hard team, but you would need way higher stats. So we have Siegfried. He's my arena champion. He's built very well. No preset set, though I'm going to turn off that stuff. Actually, just turn off the A. Actually, no. You know what? Do what you want, Siegfried. You're a big dude. You can do whatever you want. Cardiel, we have him not using. Actually, I just assume Siegfried's going to kill the waves pretty quickly. But to make it safer, let's do this. This would be a very fast run, so don't worry about that taking too long. We have good speed on him. He is built for my Chimera team, so he's got good crit rate, good crit damage. Accuracy doesn't matter. For Farrakhan, of course, we have more speed. We have, for his round 3, let's actually turn this off. We don't really need the HP burn and poison. I really just want to have the Merciless set resetting the cooldown of the beatdown specifically, not for the A2. For Martyr, we have her not using the counterattack on round 1 and round 2. Round 3, she does use it. She is faster than the boss, but we have no relentless sets on anybody in the team. So everybody's going to take a turn first, and then the boss is going to go. Finax is going to be only using this A1 on the boss, placing an extra hit if the target has any debuffs. So ideally, Martyr's going to go before him, have him in the back of the team order, so he's the last to go. Hopefully Martyr places that decreased defense, Farrakhan places the decreased defense, and then Finax comes in and just absolutely obliterates him. So Siegfried could be any wave clear champion. He's not really bringing that much special to this fight. He's bringing really good damage, but that could be other champions. He's not like going to Laz, bring in a counterattack, all that kind of stuff. That was incorrect there, Farrakhan. I do believe you're going to make this run be a fail, basically. I should have turned off the A3 skills. Let me waste 20 energy, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Also, stop by the stream in a little bit. I'll be streaming around 2 p.m. EST. I would love for you guys to be over there. Let's go ahead and have them open with their non-ally attack skills. Remember, we open with the non-ally attack skills, and we do not have Relentless. Relentless is cool and can make runs work, but if you're running a counterattack team, Relentless can cause you to outrun the counterattack, assuming the champions go before the boss takes a turn. If you're running a champion at like 240 after auras and everything, with Relentless, that's okay, because hopefully you're going to break the shield and you're going to be fine. Was that the best play there, Siegfried? No, not at all. You really didn't do much at all. We have hopefully everybody doing their stuff correctly here. I'm not paying attention that much at the moment. We get the Fire Knight shield broken down to 9. We have no freezes here whatsoever. It's really just, hey, hoping to kill this Fire Knight and kill him fast. So we have 3 stacks left of the shield. We have Faultless Defense on Martyr, which is big. That's going to help break the shield even quicker. Each stack that the Fire Knight hits with the increased defense on, it's going to reflex stacks of shield back to him, or reflex stacks of the shield breaking, basically reflex some damage back. Now, if Siegfried would have used his A3 there, we would have been fine. Finax, if you had a 6-star Finax, it'd be even better. Mine's 5-star with Crushing Rend. I could switch it up to Nature's Wrath, have him play some debuffs on the waves, but I just didn't do that. Hopefully we can get around to another ally attack. These champions are so fast that they cycle through their stuff really quickly. Unfortunately, we may not get the victory here. Actually, no, we will. If I wanted to get this fee faster, definitely could. I would just have to jack this Finax up even more, or have Siegfried actually use his A3 after the boss does, after the shield actually breaks. So maybe have the A3 set to some different priorities as far as the skill cooldowns. But here we go, Finax, double hit. Not doing a ton, but doing some decent damage. I mean, he puts up 1.3 million. Siegfried does 4.6. A lot of his is coming from the waves. So he's definitely not a slouch when it comes to damage being dealt. That was the team on stage 6 hard. As far as the builds of these champions, let's jump in here real quickly and show you all. So Siegfried is this stuff. Click through it pretty quickly. Martyr is this. Remember, the stats aren't going to show the Fire Knight bonuses, so pay attention to those from the champion selection screen. Cardiel is right here. And Farrakhan. Now, with the Finax in the team, if you want a team that's more consistent, I wouldn't necessarily use him. Mine's not hitting hard enough to make this make a lot of sense, to be honest. If you wanted a team that was 100%, I'd probably just throw in your Carl, and he's going to help reduce the turn meter, decrease speed, help make it more manageable for Siegfried just to do the damage. So in reality, Finax is not going to be the best in slot unless he can hit really hard or you can control the turn meter. If you replace Siegfried with a Neldor or something, you will be better off. So speaking of Neldor, let's jump into the Fire Knight 10 hard team. This is probably what I'll be running. It's not that fast, but it should be very safe, assuming we get our stuff actually placed and we don't have a ton of resists going off. So as far as your Carl on the waves, I don't really care what he's doing. I'm going to make sure he opens with his A1 skill. We have Cardiel, same build, your Carl there. We have Farrakhan opening with that A1. We're not going to use this A2. Martyr there, and then Neldor. There's all the stats. There are the speeds, and let's get this started. Now, once again, this team should be consistent. We have 2 ally attacks plus a counterattack champion. You could do 3 ally attacks. Could make sense. However, Martyr's bringing the equivalent to an ally attack plus 5 extra hits because of that faultless defense, which is huge. Wife's texting me. So once we get to the end of this, we'll be able to see how smooth this team works with plenty of control. Now, if you want to make it even safer, you could have Neldor possibly doing the decreased attack. You won't die as easily, but to be honest, you probably just don't even want to use a decreased attack. You're probably just going to want to stick to the whole freeze and all that kind of stuff. Let me text her back real quickly. And then we'll be doing some live arena later on. But guys, the second wave is really just about control. We're going to be having the debuffs placed on Rio. and then your Carl places his freeze, control her, we're going to be doing less damage with all the other champions because they're under freeze, but your Carl actually does more damage on targets under freeze, which is cool. Kind of evens out the whole freeze debuff. You know, it makes your damage be 25% less. So now he's going to be doing a little bit more, which is very nice. Make sure both of these champions are set to ally attack on the boss right after he hits. So we'll open with, in Cardiel's sake, the A2. If you don't have Cardiel, it's going to be more difficult because you're going to get that decreased speed through. Not going to be impossible, but it will be more difficult. Now for the bolster set, I have Martyr in a bolster set. Martyr isn't built for damage. She is just built for survivability, just built for helping the team live. We have all those counterattacks. Before any ally attack comes through, the boss's shield is already basically annihilated. And then Cardiel comes in, ally attack as well. If this was properly speed tuned perfectly, we would have that decreased speed coming up as soon as possible, but it's not. It's not perfect speed tune. It's very solid. We have both of these champions in Merciless sets, possibly even Merciless plus Reflex if you wanted to do that. It's just going to allow for the champions to cycle their ally attack skills faster. The more ally attacks, the safer it's going to be. We have your Carl, who's going to be bringing in Neldor every so often because of the freeze trying to be placed, basically. Ally attacks, reducing the Fire Knight's turn meter. Another ally attack coming in here. More turn meter reduction. There we go. We're under 50%. If we get resists, of course, it's going to go above 50%. It's going to eventually take a turn. But even if we do get hit once, there's a chance we have Revival and Death. There's a chance we survive that. Lathril could be another option for you. He places a pretty big shield, but he's not going to be as safe as these champions. Now, if we had a Soul Reap or something, that could be pretty cool. Though Phantom Touch is just going to help us so much with breaking these shield even quicker. So Phantom Touch, I definitely recommend that. Almost 3-minute run. Not upset with that. So what's important in this team is a few things. One, Faultless Defense on Martyr. If you don't have Martyr, you don't have Faultless Defense, another ally attack, another counterattack champion, Alaz would be crazy, but even Valkyrie would be very good. You want to have a bolster set. With Valkyrie, it's not as important because she brings a big shield anyways. We have the masteries right here. For your Carl, we have no masteries still. We do have Phantom Touch. Phantom Touch is very important. Now, this is not a very high Phantom Touch, so it's not consistent, but it will help you be consistent with your runs. 30% chance to inflict bonus damage. That counts from the ally attacks. That counts from the counterattacks. That counts from all that kind of stuff. As far as I'm aware, okay, there is a cooldown on it, actually. So it may not even always proc since he's going before the Fire Knight takes a turn, and he's not getting another turn. So in reality, this may not even be perfect on him unless I was to speed tune him a little bit better. Cardiel has Cruelty, mostly for Chimera. We have a Farrakhan in Phantom Touch as well. We have Neldor in nothing, but he would be in Phantom Touch if possible. No masteries. As far as the gear, we have just speed gear on him. Don't use Relentless. We have Merciless, plus some Impulse as well for Farrakhan. We have 6 pieces of Merciless for Cardiel. Actually, I guess it's 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. You don't have to have 7, but 6 pieces is good. I wouldn't use 9. The extra turns is not worth it. We have Lethal on Yukarl for a bit more damage. Not crazy stats, though, to be honest. Really not crazy stats. And then there's Martyr. So, guys, there we go. Those are 3 Fire Knight teams to help you finish out this event. If you need to figure out what champions you have and what teams you can make, look for 3 things. Look for ally attacks, counterattacks, increased defense if possible. Look for decreased speed, very powerful debuff, potentially turn meter boosts, freeze for hard mode, or turn meter decrease for normal. Those things are going to be what allow you to finish the Fire Knight stage. As far as the speed tune goes, you can visit the Hell Hades stages tool and see how fast the boss is. Technically, if you wanted to come in here and make the team really nice, you would try to get your champions to go intentionally before or after the Fire Knight. This, I believe, is 250 speed. And then if you included Cardiel's Aura, you could basically run these champions very slow. I wasn't worried about getting it that meticulously speed tuned. To be honest, what I'll probably do is just switch this out. I can go him or Neldor. Either one will be fine. Actually, just go Neldor here. And then we'll just not use and not use. Not use and not use. And then we'll open. And then I guess we just go number 1. Because we have, like I said, we have 2 ally attacks plus the counterattacks from Martyr. So we're going to be able to blast that shield down really quickly. And the Finax isn't going to be here this time, but we have the more consistent option, which is going to be Neldor controlling the turn meter of the Fire Knight, just letting Siegfried in more. So if you got a Siegfried, if you got a really hard hitting champion like him, who can just handle the waves, a Thor possibly could do this. Champions like that could do this potentially. Just make sure your bolster set on Martyr, or whoever you're using a bolster set on, is big enough to make it make sense. I think bolster on her is the best idea for this team, because Cardiel and Farrakhan, I prefer to have in the Merciless, Reflex, stuff like that, basically. So more turn meter decrease. Siegfried getting in there. Got some decreased defense action going. Big A3. Neldor coming in with no turn meter decrease, actually. He got no turn meter decrease, unfortunately. But I want to get him that A3 going off. Maybe I should have opened with a different skill, or had him use something a little bit differently, because he's not getting the A3 placed yet, unfortunately. So got the A1 from Farrakhan there. He may actually die here. It's okay. We have Revive on Death, like I mentioned before. But I'll probably just do 10 hard, honestly. I don't feel like speed tuning the 6 hard team to work out perfectly. But this is something I would kind of do. If I'm doing 6 hard, I'm going to try to make it fast. Of course, the 10 hard team will work on 6 hard as well. You can just lower the speeds for whatever difficulty you're doing. And here we go. We got another slam coming through, and Finax dies. So there we go. That's actually not going to work. I have to play around with this team more to make it work, more consistent. The 10 hard team idea does work here, though. The 25 normal team works. This team, you could go fast, or you can control either one. 6 hard is easier to go fast on, but if you're going too crazy and you ain't got enough damage, it's just going to happen like that. So guys, thank you all for watching. Hopefully this helps you out. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you all in the next one.